You know, I really wasn't going to do a live stream today because I had to do a lot of some drawings that I've done today. But unfortunately, couldn't get to the cameras in time. So, you guys out there who are viewing right now, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Since this is a global platform, decided to say those things out loud. It's a global platform. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And most of you are living in different countries that have different time zones. So I'll just speak from that point on. Now, word has it, I just want to talk a little bit about the homeless problem that's common that's seen in North America. Because that's what I'm seeing right now. I've been riding my bike through the city, and I notice certain things happening here in Calgary, particularly Canada and the United States. And I'll get to the US in a moment. But here in Canada, homelessness has become a major problem. Because I notice around the city, most contractors and building construction companies, they're building more and more houses around the city. And more, not just houses, but more and more condominiums and more apartments complexes in the city. And I must say, and that more and more people, because they're moving into the city, more houses are needed. And I'm seeing some buildings that have been a milestone in the city being torn down and being replaced by condominiums and apartment complexes around the city. Apartment complexes. And I think people are buying plots and buying old buildings and renovating them and then renting them out to people and selling them out. And as a result of that, more people that are homeless or no homes, they're being pushed out and pushed into other areas of the city, which doesn't really solve the problem itself of homelessness here in Calgary, but especially across Canada. Because I've seen some homeless people in Victoria, BC as well, and Vancouver, of course, where a lot of homeless people are living. And I think the government is trying to do all they can to solve the problem, but to no avail. They haven't really solved any issues as of late. So I must say that building more houses is not going to solve the homeless problem in itself, unless the houses are made to be free. And what company is going to build houses for free? No company's going to do that. And people are more homeless. People are being homeless here because they can't afford the housing. And there's no regulatory movement to maybe regulate regulations and say that keep tabs of the rent prices that are stabilizing or going down. Of course, with inflation, rents are going up, making it harder for people to rent and making it hard for anybody to afford to buy a house. Now, millions and millions of dollars spent on homes these days. I mean, you look at condominiums, or should I say, like bungalows of housing, they're about the 500,000 mark because due to the renovations being done. And some, depending on which area you live in, they go for about millions of dollars. And that would trigger the homeless problem here in Calgary. But I'm seeing this trend also in Vancouver and Victoria, BC. Like, think about this. You look at a house, bungalow in BC. So with millions of dollars, what person can afford a house like that? Nobody. So I'm seeing this homelessness problem in Toronto as well, where rents are very, very sky high. Most people, they can't afford to buy homes in the area. So Canada has a homelessness problem, but the problems are not as big as they are in the USA. Because you go to places like maybe Chicago, New York, maybe Atlanta, Los Angeles, San Francisco, maybe Houston, Texas as well. A lot of homeless people in those cities, but especially around cities like, say, in the California state, like LA and San Francisco. Now, Los Angeles has a major homelessness problem, but this is a major problem across America, United States, but especially Los Angeles and New York City, where a lot of people are living with the stigma of being homeless. But yeah, I don't think there's any sort of regulation when it comes to regulating the rent prices in the U.S. But of course, the U.S. has a different system altogether. And I must say that rents are sky high in the United States, particularly places in California and maybe Washington State, because you look at places like Seattle, Spokane, and Tacoma, Washington, Olympia, Washington. Rent prices are pretty sky high in Washington State. So it's not looking good right now in solving the problem of homelessness in both the U.S. and Canada. Now I know, okay, we're almost close to the 8-minute mark. I no longer want to speak any longer than 10 minutes. Now I know this is not a live stream I'm doing, but I just call it a vlog entry. Just talk about everything, like real estate, maybe business. Okay, I'll have to look into that as well, just in case. Now I get any drawings up and running. But lo and behold, tomorrow I'll get some drawings ready. And that's pretty much all I have for this live stream.